from Angel's Landing, you can see the valley below, the
Yeah.
towering mountains that create the valley. The native tribes down there, that to them was one of the whole, like, considered holy land. It was spiritual. It was I want to say they call it the Valley of
Clink,
How's it
clink,
going
clack,
there?
click, clack. What's up?
Just drinking some lemonade here. Probably gonna get some more at some point. Realizing it's about half full. But
I'm drinking that H2O, that
yeah,
agua.
I like that. I like you got your uke today.
I know, I got the nice one out too. I don't have the traveling one.
I like the nice one out. It's a podcast, man. It's for our YouTube listeners.
This is the nice one here.
Oh wow, look at that. Strings and looks like a mini guitar.
Yeah. I don't take this one on the road with me. So you have to be like at my cabode and for me to pull this one out.
On the road. Like you're playing some concert or some shit.
Hey, no. Here we go, right? I got a picture I can like kind of semi-prove. No, remember when we were in Billings?
Yes.
2 years ago and they had that sign that said, hi, Mark.
Yeah.
I took the picture in front of it like, yeah, I was performing my uke there that night.
There you go.
As far as people know, looking at the picture, I could have been.
That's true.
So
gotta just film an album cover. Get you an album cover and like 2 or 3 songs that you did.
Yeah, right.
Would have packed it up.
Yeah.
I love it. Nah, so what have you been up to, huh? It's been a minute since we last spoke.
I mean, the usual amount of time between our usual conversations, right?
Yeah, daily. No, I'm just kidding.
we do talk a lot. That's what happens when you do a podcast together and you come up with ideas. You tend to talk a lot.
I talk to you more and talk to Thea, and I'm marrying her, so.
Oh, shit. Well, shoot. We do a thing together, so it's like you have to spitball ideas. So it makes sense why we would talk to each other.
Do a thing together. We're getting married together.
Yeah, but I mean.
No, I get you. Yeah. This requires thought and time because we care about our listeners.
Yes.
We care about how they're doing, and we want them to care about us. That's why you got to like, review, share, everything, because right now it's not looking too good, everybody.
Preferably share.
Yeah, tell your grandma's friends, go to the nursing home, go to the senior home, and tell them Wandering Ways podcast is there. Go to your baseball game, tell your friends there, all of it. Just tell them about us.
Yeah. No, but shoot, what have I been doing? Well, I got the like film back, so I've been messing around with that.
I'm excited because we're gonna talk about what's on that film today at some point, possibly. We'll see.
Yeah, maybe. Well, so no, to give you the idea, I want to do something different from what I've done with past videos, right?
Okay.
One, the music will actually be me playing on this puppy.
Wow.
Yeah. So, that's been a whirlwind of it because, again, this was a New Year's resolution why I played the ukulele. So it's not like I'm amazing at it.
No, I mean, I've heard you've done good. You play the opening to the podcast. I don't know if we've ever told.
Yeah, actually, we've never said that, but the little intro.
Yeah, that's you.
Yeah, that is. That is true. Not the first one. Where at the very, very beginning of all this.
Very first episode?
No, not that one.
Not that one, folks.
Which I think we ran that one like the first 6.
Yeah, but this episode, people are
this one, yes.
Yeah, so they'll know.
It's the bare necessities. If anyone else is curious what the song is,
The
you
simple
can start. Yeah, look for the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities. That
Love
one,
it.
that jam.
I love it. You might have to play that at some point today for them.
It's a fun little diddle. Not gonna lie.
Exactly. No, I've just been chilling like a villain, living the dream. I uh I was on Facebook the other day and I got captivated. And usually when I'm watching videos on social media, I'm only watching like the first 20 seconds, 30 seconds, unless it's really got my attention.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw that one of that cougar finally chasing that kid in Utah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I sat there for all 6 minutes watching this thing. Like I'm as scared as this kid. And yeah, I call him a kid. He's probably close to our age, maybe even in his 30s. But you could just tell by the sound of his voice that he was scared shitless, and so rightfully so.
Yeah.
What really stuck out, there's a lot that stuck out to me, and I'll go into depth about it a little bit. But the first part was when he pops open the camera to start. It's because he sees the mountain lion cubs. And that, if you ever see mountain lion cubs, grizzly bear cubs like that, don't say, "Ooh, Instagram moment."
Yeah.
Because if you do not see the mother, which clearly in that video, you do not see the mother, and it's a cat, those things are crazy stalkers. Get the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
And do what he did. He act tall and yelled. He never turned away from the mountain lion. And what mountain lions will do when they kill humans, back of the neck. So if you turn around, and which he kind of, there's points where he thinks about turning around and running, that's when that cat lunges at him. And
yeah, man, it was pretty gnarly. When it comes to being out in the woods and nature and all stuff, like bears don't really get me. I get it, right? I mean, they are something to worry about, right? But they don't get me. But cats, cougars, they get me. I always assume that one sees me.
And rightfully so, they do. If you look at like population numbers of cougars and bobcats, they live in cities.
Yeah.
Like they're more common than your bear.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't realize it. And they're more night creatures, yeah, but they're also like that. You're walking, you see those kittens playing, dude. You fucking walk like he's doing back. Don't run. Don't startle the thing because it'll go after you. And like he did, he finally threw a rock at it, and it ran away because it was attacked. But the thing with mountain lions that people don't know is when that happens, when he throws the rock at him and that cat takes off, you go. And that cat will come back.
Yeah.
And it will come back at a different angle. So what it'll do is he was on a road, and in those that cat will go back down that road and into the trees and pop out on people if you kind of like don't think and you turn around, and you do want to like walk backwards in those cases because you're not backing down, but you're backing down.
Yeah. Man, it's crazy. Cats are something else.
I've only seen one mountain lion in my life in the wild, and it was hunting, and we were in the truck, and that thing, I mean, he was probably a good 100 yards away from us, put his paw right in the middle of the road, kind of did one of the looks like, oh, there's something coming, then just ran up the side of the hill. And
I saw a fresh cougar track. That was about it. And it was hunting. And let me tell you, that's not a fun feeling.
No.
There's one in the area, but you don't know where it is.
Well, I was back when we first moved to Montana. My dad put in for a bighorn sheep tag in the Beartooth Mountains, because he's like, I want to try it. I've never done this before. I want to try it. And we're living in a place where we can do that. So he did it. And we're out hunting, and they came across these guys that were camping out hunting for ram. And they said, so we are tracking a herd of sheep. There is a mountain lion that is tracking us. Behind the mountain lion is a pack of wolves. And behind the pack of wolves is a grizzly bear. And like they said they've seen them all throughout the day. Just kind of those like they're following. They know they're all following the sheep. Every single one of them is following the sheep.
Yeah.
And it's just because it's just like, oh my God. Like, and we're there. We're the hunter.
Right.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah, that's something else.
But yeah, I mean, I think that's a good segue. We talk about mountain lions, and we talk about Utah, where that video was from. And last week we talked to you our 4th and 5th favorite national parks.
Before we got sidetracked from that into that documentary, we started our top 5 parks.
Right. Exactly. So, we wandered away, and now we're wandering back.
Yeah. No. So now it's time to finish our list for sure this time.
Top three.
Yeah. Whoop 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 whoop. Bow, 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 bow.
Exactly.
Our top 3, which is a good fun one, number 3, because it is actually the same on both of our lists.
Which is interesting because we've only been to this park once
together.
Yes, together. And it was only for a brief time. We didn't stay there.
I've stayed there.
Oh, and actually, and I did too. I stayed in one of the hotels. But I'm saying
I stayed in a campground.
But if you guys don't know, based on those clues, the hotel and campground, it's Zion.
Yeah, Zion National Park in the great state of Utah.
It is just phenomenal and breathtaking. My first time going to Zion, I was with a group. We're coming back from Lake Havasu on spring break, and we're driving, and it's nighttime. We get to the park, it's nighttime. It's dark out because we spent all day at the Grand Canyon. And we're like, okay, we're going to get a hotel in the park. We'll chip in, all of us together, right? So it's dark. We're driving the roads in the dark, not really understanding where we are. It's really late at night. And we get to the hotel, we check in, and we're tired because, we just had a long week of spring break. We were swimming and doing that. And we wake up, and outside our hotel room is Zion National Park. And if you've never been to Zion before, you are in this like canyon of mountains.
Yeah.
And it's magnificent.
It is. It really is.
And you get why they choose a word like Zion. You hear it in the Bible to, Mount Zion and these beautiful places, these holy places, these spiritual places. And you get there and you're like, damn. This is just...
Yeah, no, it's Zion something else. It's something else. I mean, my first time, it was, we pulled in hella early because we had driven, me and Vince drove from, the Redwood Forest all the way in Northern California, all the way to Zion nonstop.
Woo.
Yeah, we obviously switched so someone could sleep, someone could drive type deal. Vince killed Bugs Bunny on that. Because we were in like Nevada when it was like 2 a.m. type shit.
Yeah.
And holy cats, man. Never seen so many freaking rabbits in my life.
Really?
Oh, it was like I swear every 25 feet there was a rabbit.
Man.
Yeah, so it was just a matter of time. But no, that when Vince hit it, it was hilarious because I'm trying to pass out right in the passenger seat, and you just hear, "Put it up." Oh. I was like, what happened? It's like I hit a rabbit.
Oh no.
Yeah. But I mean, we got in, and that's when I stayed in the campground itself,
Wow.
which was really cool. It's a good campground, top notch.
It's a beautiful park. And if the hikes, there's all sorts of different hikes there, which I like. There's easy ones for grandma and grandpa, as well
Mhm.
as the hard ones that like we did. We did Angel's Landing.
Yeah.
Um, recommend it. Definitely. If you want to do a cool hike, recommend it. I say it's an all ages one in the sense if you can climb a mountain in a
See,
sense.
I don't say Angel's Landing is an everybody one.
I don't, dude, that dad had that baby on his back up there. All
Yeah,
ages.
and kudos for him for getting it done. But this is my only caveat with Zion, and it's more specifically just that hike. It's not just to Angel's Landing. It's really not the rest of the park. It's just that hike. There's so many people that do it, and it is honestly like a pretty dangerous hike to do with that many people.
Agreed, because you're right. We were on the hike. We stood in parts where there's a 1,000 foot cliff on your left and a 1,000 foot cliff on your right, and you're stopped because there's people coming down the chain that you hold on to on the side of this rock.
Yeah.
They're coming down it, and you're trying to go up, and it was very.
And there's impatient people that are going by, and then there's people that have no business being up there that are wearing like sandals with no grip on, where you're like, honestly, you're one wrong step from taking the quick route down, but you're
Well,
not living to tell that route.
they say what the national parks kill a few people a year. Like Grand Canyon, like averages like 5 deaths a year. Yellowstone Park averages like one or two. I heard that's the place in Zion that averages the deaths.
Yeah.
It's like, so be
I
careful.
remember when we were on our way back down, and I think honestly, one of the worst spots is like right at the beginning because there's that rock that's not very sticky. So it's hard. It's hard to get a good grip.
Yeah, you're on the side of this like rounded rock.
Yeah. And I remember seeing some lady, and this is right at the beginning, she's coming up and she's like shaking and stuff. And I remember thinking to myself, like, turn around. Because if you're struggling with like this part right now, when you're like that, you're not getting to the end. Just turn around now.
Oh, and it was, yeah, I do remember because that was on our way back down.
Yeah.
She was shaking because people were like starting to like just go down because she's just sitting there on the side of this thing shaking like I'm in
I mean,
fear.
she's like full body trembling. And
Oh,
I remember thinking, just turn around, just turn around.
it's
Because
not worth it at that point.
no, she's putting herself through so much stress and anxiety. Don't get me wrong, it's a great view. It's totally worth it. If you're a capable hiker, you're a smart human being, which I assume all of our listeners are.
Right?
Go ahead and do it.
No, I agree. And patience.
Yes.
Like,
Or do it super early in the morning when no one's there.
well, and that's why I say anyone can do it because you're not straining yourself the whole time because there's a lot of breaks.
Yeah, I get why you could say anyone can do it, but
You
I
don't.
don't want everybody doing it because I think there's going to be a point where it turns into half dome and you're going to have to permit it.
And I get that, and that makes sense, and it sucks, but there's just the reality of things.
Yeah, but I mean, shit, it is gorgeous up there. I'm going to try and pull up a picture of it.
The other part of the park that I really like that you've got to do that I haven't done, I've only seen nothing but cool pictures and great things, is the Narrows.
Oh, Narrows is really freaking cool.
I am just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I need to go see that and do that. And it sucks sometimes when you're in these parks for such a short time because you want to do it all. And I do want to do it all, but it's like it's hard to go back to some of them because you're like, well, like I want to go back to Zion, and it's on my top three, but there's so many other cool parks out there and cool things to do that it's like, well, I've been there.
Yeah, right.
So
Yeah,
definitely. And if you're on our YouTube, here he is. He's showing this
the
beautiful
view from it.
from Angel's Landing. You can see the valley below, the
Yeah.
towering mountains that create the valley. Um, the native tribes down there, that to them was one of the whole, like, considered holy land. It was spiritual. It was I want to say they call it the Valley of, like, the Kings, is what like the translation of it is in their native tongue, and it's breathtaking.
Yeah. No, it's phenomenal going up to this part. It's because I mean you just see the whole valley just straight down, and it's truly, truly incredible. You see why they call it Angel's Landing, because if you're an angel that's overlooking everything, this would be the spot you would want to do it.
Well, and if you were to do a 360, the other side of that, it's kind of dead ends like a cul-de-sac, but it's still the valley going back behind it.
Yeah, no, that's true too.
It's just, oh my gosh, going up there. We had a nice little lunch up there, sat up there, and just enjoyed it and enjoyed this beautiful land that,
Mm-hmm.
that,
I'm gonna get one of Narrows here too. So
which that, I mean, you got to talk more to that. That's something I've wanted to do. I know it's another crowded one in Zion because it's popular.
yeah, this one though, the
Beautiful.
nice thing about Narrows, um, so if you're watching the YouTube, you see the pictures. If you're not, check out the Quartz Lake Instagram page at Quartz_Lake_Productions. And you can see the pictures there as well. But the thing with like Narrows is you're going down this like slot canyon, and it's basically the river that you're going down. Certain times of year wouldn't want to do it because of flash floods, but you're going basically up this river, and it's cool because I mean it's the giant canyon. You're walking up, you feel like a real adventurer as you're doing it. And the other really nice thing about this is it goes for a long ways, and the farther you go into it, the less people there are. So you'll at the beginning there'll be tons of people. I might even have a picture with like a ton of people in it here. So like this picture that I got, there's a fair amount of people,
Gorgeous.
but the farther you get in, the less people. And if it's as long as you keep going, you can get away from the people and stuff. So, it is crowded for sure. And make sure you're wearing stuff that can get wet because you're gonna get wet.
Exactly.
You're walking in a river. I mean, shoot, the picture of the people here, everyone's in the water. I'm taking this picture in the water. So,
and it's just it's spectacular, and Google Narrows, check it out, because it's
yeah,
definitely one of those things that is worth it. And
it really is.
so what I think that it's what makes Zion a top three for me is it has those type of features.
Mm-hmm.
There's just something about the American Southwest that is captivating in itself.
No, it is. I mean, that area is really cool. Zion was on my like list of things I really wanted to do. And then when I got the chance to go, it lived up to everything I wanted it to be. I was just, like I said last time, um, things I'd look for is the awe factor, and then like if I want to go back. And this part definitely hit that for me.
Yeah, the Angels Landing, the awe,
Yeah.
Narrows, the awe, waking up in the morning, the awe, everything I've ever had, even the wildlife. Like I was able to come across two baby desert bighorn sheep there,
Mm-hmm.
and they have good wildlife, surprisingly. So
Yeah.
I did like that, and that's our number three. And it's kind of cool that both of us, we ranked it, and we're both like, yeah, Zion's like top three for us. It's like, oh no shit.
Yeah. Which
Um,
that is interesting.
because me and you, that's it. All we did was Angels Landing hike, and we headed out to Bryce Canyon afterwards. And to us, like, it to hold that high regard and really like only spend just a little bit of time together there, kind of interesting. Um, no, so I think before we get into number two,
This episode of the podcast is brought to you by Hydrate or Dihydrate, because we need you to drink water. Water's super important, because if you don't hydrate, you're just going to dehydrate. Enjoy listening.
I think it's time for you to play a little song on your ukulele for us.
I bring it on one day, and this guy's like, "Play a song, play a song."
Exactly.
Um,
Little campfire song. Some of you guys, if you want to go to YouTube and pirate the song that he plays on his uke, go ahead, put it on your phone. We'll be quiet.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to play like too long of a song.
Oh, a good minute or two is fine.
A good minute or two.
Nothing ever hurt nobody.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. You put me on the spot. I don't know which song to play.
Which one's your favorite?
Yeah,
Which one are you not going to mess up on?
yeah, right. That's the one. That's what I'm also thinking. Which one am I not going to screw up on as I'm doing this? Which is why I'm thinking I might just do a little diddle. You know.
Oh, that's good. What song's that? Oh, you know,
right? One where I just like, because the one I do when I'm just like if really quick, it's just like it's just like that, but that's like it,
Do your bare necessities one. Go for it.
They've heard that. If you made it this far in, you've probably heard bare necessities.
Oh, well, all right then. Give me an option. What other options do we have?
No, I'll do the what is it? Build Me Up, Buttercup, or something.
Oh, why don't you build me up, buttercup, baby, just to let me down.
Yeah. See, I screwed up. Why do you build me up?
Build me up.
Baby, just let me down. Mess me around. I'm not going to sing the rest.
First of all.
That's all I'm doing. It's just the first verse, but
I love it. It was good. Everyone's gonna pirate that. You know, they're gonna put it. They're gonna download it.
That'll be the one they'll pirate.
Playing it on their iPhones. You know. I love it. Good. That's a good. I like that because now they can listen to a nice commercial or us. You know.
Yeah. Right.
But number 2, I think we're gonna got to do something big for this one because it's your number 2 park in North America. You know, some might call North America the greatest continent. Others may disagree. And, well, we'll let you guys be the judge of that. But your number 2 park is...
Yeah, my number 2 is a little bit, again, we got to head north of the border.
Whoa!
Yeah, to
Canada.
Yeah, to Jasper National Park, which is just north of Banff National Park, over in the great, I think it's Alberta. It's all Alberta. But you know, the main reason why this one hits that spot for me is it was a complete and utter surprise of how cool it was. One, we didn't even plan on going up there that day. We had decided to wake up early and go to Pyoto Lake for breakfast. I mean, we woke up like super early to head out to Pyoto, which I just got a picture of that lake. You've probably seen, this is still technically in Banff, this lake. But so we planned to go here, and we did super early. This early morning, we decided to have our breakfast, coffee, the whole deal there. And we didn't have a true plan for the day.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So we decided to keep heading north and just see what we get. And we were not disappointed. We ended up going up to the Columbia ice field, which is the largest like ice glacier in North America.
Wow.
Yeah, which was super cool. And again, I think that's where we ended up like chilling for a while. I mean, you feel like you're up in the mountains. I can't find the picture that I want to show you of there. But I mean, it's like phenomenal. You know, you feel, and then also there's this skyline, which I'll show you. There's a picture of like me at the skyline here on it.
Wow.
So, you know, Grand Canyon's got theirs. This has one too. And off in the corner of the picture, for people on YouTube over here, that's where that Columbia ice field is. And, you know, this one doesn't get as much play as Banff does, which I think is why I enjoyed it so much. You know, not as many people. You really feel like you're in the mountains. It was something else. We had typical mountain weather. It was like beautiful. Then a storm came through, beautiful. You know, it was cold in the morning, got comfortable in the afternoon type stuff. So, I mean, it's one of those, I was super surprised about it. Had my awe factor. I'm dying to go back like ASAP to it. So I actually found.
Sign me up.
I know. Hands down. Let's go.
I looking at it, that turquoise blue water, the
turquoise blue. I mean, a lot of the lakes up there are turquoise.
Oh, but still, and then the fact that the trees go right down to the water. There's no like sign of human. Just looks wild, looks out there, and it's just beautiful. Oh my gosh, look at this picture of is this the ice fields out there, you're saying?
Yeah, so that what I was talking about, the ice fields in the corner. So off in the distance of this picture that's up is the ice field. It's from that same spot from the picture before. You just don't get to see my beautiful face this time. But but again, I mean, you're in the Rockies, you're like up there. It's phenomenal. And then like the drive from Banff to Jasper is phenomenal as well. And you know, we didn't even know until after we did it, but it's like considered a top 10 scenic drive in the world.
Wow.
Yeah.
And like I said, man, when you talked about Banff, I regret not going, and you can see why by the images. Just Google it, check out our socials, all the above. I mean, I can only imagine being there in person and just have my breath take away, you know?
Yeah. No, I want to spend like 2 weeks in that area. Jasper especially. I just love Jasper so much.
And I'm on board. Let me know. But I mean, same kind of goes for me, because my number 2 is just south of there in Glacier Park here in the US. And I think it's the same, because it's right. You follow the Rocky Mountains right up, you're going to hit Banff, Jasper over time, you know. And these places in the Rockies are just gorgeous in their own way, because that's where the Earth came up when those two plates were colliding, and you had, you know, whatever, you know, the tectonics and all that forming the Rocky Mountain front.
Yeah.
It's crazy. You get some crazy mountains, some crazy snow, crazy weather, all of it. Glacier to me, I mean, it's home. It is you know, ever since I was a kid, beautiful picture out of Many Glacier there on the screen. But definitely the eastern side was a little bit different than the western. We talked about that. And for me, the eastern side is, I mean, it's the Blackfeet Reservation. That's family. That's where everyone comes from. That's where my grandpa lived, you know. and Chief Mountain here in the pictures. It's just all that, being able to do a naming ceremony up there, to see all the like prayer bundles in the trees, to see the different, rock formations and the way the native peoples, see Chief Mountain here in the picture, and just what it means. And I guess to describe that better to our listeners is, if you think of like Rome to the Catholics, so you think of, Mecca to the Muslims, you think of all these different icons and objects, and the way native people are, we're very one with the land. A lot of our creation stories are with the land and the animals around us, and people take that in such a literal sense sometimes that they forget, it was used as a way of teaching, but also a way of harmony. And you were no better than the bear. You were no better than the moose. We're equals on this planet because we're all life, and we take what we need and we live off the land. And I think that gets missed in translation. But like, I look at like these places in Glacier, like Chief Mountain there that you had on the screen prior to Hidden Lake now, but it's those type of places. And this is Hidden Lake. I mean, look at this gem. That's July, and these lakes are just now thawing out, and come August, it's just beautiful. The way these lakes and the way these mountains come together for such a short time of the year. I think that's what's special. I think that's why, you hear these creation stories like, we came from Glacier. You hear, the people in South Dakota, we came from the Black Hills, and that's why. And I think, to me, that's why Glacier cracks my top 2. That's why it is my number 2. There is a little bit of disconnect, I think, from it being not my number 1, because I think people think, well, if that's your family and everything, why isn't it your number 1? I didn't necessarily grow up in Glacier. I didn't really learn my Native American culture and heritage until I was about high school, college, when I wanted to. So as a child, we were just taught to think the way we wanted to think and do the things we wanted to do. So, I didn't do that until I realized what it meant, and the importance of it, and the importance of our traditions and the things we talk. And realizing as we were raised, that's part of being raised Native, I think, is the ability to, we don't judge other people. We don't do things like that. I'm going to judge you if you do something dumb, but I'm not going to look at you any different than I look at someone else, regardless of, income, ethnicity, yada, yada, yada. And I think that's part of it. And realizing that as I got older, that it's like, wow, like, that's what my parents taught me, and I see the world that way, and I see the harmony that we live in. I hunt and fish, but I also know the importance of protecting our national parks and our animals, and our grizzly bears, our whatever. So I like Glacier. It's beautiful. It makes me go on a rant like that.
Yeah, it's this is a great time to point out that Glacier is my number 1.
Yeah, it's big time number 1.
If you're an avid listener to the podcast, you've actually already knew that, because I have stated before that Glacier is my favorite park. When we planned to go out there, when we were out there in July this last year. So, you guys all knew it was. And it's just something special to me. I keep realizing more and more that I may be a full-blown hippie. I think the earth heals, and Glacier was the first place that I felt the earth's real healing power. If you want to talk about, it was in the drought. It was the first time I ever went during the drought of 15. So, we go up there, we go to Quartz Lake, getting in the water, doing the whole meditation in the mountains type shit, clearing the mind, body, spirit. That's what Glacier did. It was the awe. I always want to go back every year, do a different park. There's something special about it to me. It's where I healed, which is why it's phenomenal up there. Um,
Well, I like that you said. I like that you said it's a place of healing because to me, it's not go sit in a yoga studio and meditate, but like you said, just being out there, you felt in awe.
yeah, I mean, the earth heals. You know,
Well, what I like about
nature
it,
heals you. There's actual science out there showing it. So
and that's what makes you not a hippie, is there's actual science about the magnets in the earth and the electricity in our bodies and the way we talk to the earth and put our feet. There's actual proven science, and
yeah,
it's not the hippie.
well, not a lot of people believe that's science. So,
Oh,
and
I
I mean, I think I am hippie. The more I think about it, the more I think I realize I may be a hippie. But I mean, no, glacier glacier is a place of healing for me. Every time there's a there's a piece up in these mountains for sure. Whether it was the Cracker Lake hike, the avalanche hike we did here, whether it was Mini Glacier to Medicine, Quartz Lake, uh, we've done a lot of that park. We still have a lot to do of that park. So I mean, shit, it's I full on just love Glacier.
and I mean, I didn't mention it when I talked about it, but I consider Waterton Park up in Canada to be part of Glacier, which unfortunately we've never done Waterton. I did it separate, and the views, the awe factor is just as good in Glacier, in Jasper, in Waterton. It's basically Glacier Park of Canada is what they call it. It's the Peace Park. They're together. It's the
Yeah,
Canadian half of Glacier. There's just a border that cuts the two in half. But it definitely.
yeah, it's phenomenal up there. I can't without them. I just love it.
Yeah. No, it's awesome. Yeah, I mean, the experiences we've had with wildlife there, the goats, the bear, the moose on our way up to Glacier, all that. Just like to be able to live in a time where we can physically see the demise of that, but also go to these hidden gems that keep it alive,
Yeah,
and understand the importance of why we keep that and do it the way we do it is interesting. And I think it's important that we know that and understand that.
yeah, no, for sure.
Um, well, I mean, are you about done with your number one? You got anything else to put about the Great Glacier National Park?
No, it's I don't know. Sometimes I have a hard time putting it into words
Yeah, you just
because it is things are so special and whatnot. So no, I kind of hit everything on a button for me.
well, and I get what you're saying about things being that way, hard to put into words and hard to explain. And this is what my number one is, and I don't think it comes as any surprise to anyone. But it's interesting because this one didn't even crack your top five.
Yeah, right.
But my number one national park is Yellowstone. There are tons of reasons that I love Yellowstone. I can look back and vividly remember going to Yellowstone with my mom and dad and seeing a moose for the first time when I was like 3 years old. I moving up to Montana from New Mexico, we would go snowmobiling and do the outdoor stuff down there in New Mexico. But when we came up here, it became a different thing. And living in Billings, I consider myself a child of the Beartooth Mountains because I grew up in the Beartooths. We were going fishing in, Cooney Reservoir, which is right there at the base of the Beartooths. Then you go into Red Lodge. Every year I go down and cut my tree is in the Beartooth Mountains. And I consider the Beartooths part of Yellowstone because that just opens up into that east entrance into the Lamar Valley. And for as long as I can really truly remember the park and understand it, that Beartooth Pass drive into Lamar to see Yellowstone Park, whether I'm doing it in a couple days, to do it in a day, all the memories, all the people I went to Yellowstone with for the first time, all the experiences I've had, all the wildlife you see, being able to go to Gardner and go on a buffalo hunt, with my dad and uncle on horseback, um, going into the park in the snow, going into the park in the fall, in the spring for work training, you know, um, every time I see Old Faithful, yeah, it doesn't disappoint. I can watch it 100 times. I could sit and stay at that lodge all day long and never not want to take a photo of Old Faithful. I'm going to take a photo every time. You know how many fucking photos I have of Old Faithful? And the wildlife, like you said, you just showed a baby bear cub. You showed that bison. You showing Grand Prismatic. You don't get all this in one location and not call it special. You don't get the beauty of Mother Earth creating itself. That's what those hot spots and the volcano activity, that's the Earth creating itself and changing itself, and the wildlife and the fact that it's protected there. And there's a reason it's America's first, and it's a reason, us indigenous people, they had, like, there's a Blackfeet story about Independence Cap in what's that, Mammoth, right? In Mammoth Hot Springs, there's Independence Cap, and it's a story about like the five stars that make up the Big Dipper, and that's the old lady's digging stick that she used to dig. And it's a Blackfeet and Crow story. I'm sorry that I'm butchering it. It was told to me by a Crow gentleman, and I I just remember the key parts. That it's the old lady's digging stick, and it links to the five brothers, the Big Dipper, and it's one of those. It's just one of those places that's so beautiful. I mean, I proposed to Thea when Old Faithful went off. It's one of those places.
Yeah, I mean, I get why you would say that, 100%. I don't know. There's something about it that didn't make me like the other places.
And that's
it's in the same range as all those honorable mentions. From honestly, from 3 to I think 8 or 9, they're all neck and neck in personal opinion.
Oh, no national park or state park even they're not getting an honorable mention with it. They all get it.
Yeah.
But Yellowstone for me it's that special place. There's special meaning there. And when I can go to Yellowstone and I don't see the people when I'm there. When I'm looking, a lot of people will look at that prismatic and be like, wow, look at all the people on the boardwalk, right? But I'm just looking at that blue and what it's doing and how it's doing it, how it's interacting with the wildlife, how the bison can walk right over it, and how nature can just come to a standstill almost at Yellowstone. And I've been able to see the park without people in it the few times, the times I go in the spring and the fall. So it's one of those where if you know what you're doing there, like, go to Grand Prismatic when it's sunset. There won't be that many people there. You get beautiful pictures of it.
Yeah, right. I'm sure.
Cold tits sometimes, but most people are busy in the park from 10 a.m. to 5. They all got dinner plans. They all got to go to West Yellowstone, got to go to Gardner for night.
Yeah, honestly, a lot of these parks are like that. As I mentioned, last time about Banff, there's a hell of amount of people, but it's kind of they say Banff is like the Yellowstone of Canada in terms of, it's the iconic one of Canada. It's, the one that a lot of people go to. But when it comes to those evenings or early mornings, you're going to get nobody in that park because, it's people like to go to these to say they're outdoorsy, even though they're not outdoorsy.
Exactly. Or to say they've seen it and done it. which is fine. I mean,
Oh
I've been
yeah,
to,
no, I encourage everyone should go to these and experience them and see the joy and beauty of them all.
but that's I like that. I like what you're saying there because we had YOLO on as a guest, and I've shown him pictures of Yellowstone. Like, hey, lad, look at what me and Mark just did. He's kind of, oh, cool, yeah, and which is fine. But when he was there for the first time,
Hmm.
seeing this same picture of Grand Prismatic from his, in his standing there watching him look at it, and just seeing that first time, me and Alexa went there before you came, and seeing her see, a bison that close for the first time, you and I in Glacier seeing that bear coming across these things, just being like, what the hell, what the heck? And I think Yellowstone does that to everybody. Yeah, there's like the 2% that get upset by the things.
Yeah, right.
It's just,
Well, what's interesting is, um, when I did the big trip with my buddy Vince and his friend and now my friend Phil, our big thing was on it, like, give your Yelp review of the park afterwards, right? We talk, which, I mean, we've started that segment here on the podcast,
right.
the like Yelp review. And both Phil and Vince, I remember they loved Yellowstone. But like in terms of it, they just consider it like the standard of it, like it's kind of like the standard for a park. So they didn't really differentiate it from the others. It was just like, all right, here's how you measure all of them, all the other parks, as compared to like this. So they never really, like, nothing catches their eye, or like there's no like magical moment for it. It's just like, no, this is a really good park.
I agree. And because I think it gives you all that because of the people. It gives you the wildlife. It gives you the features. It
Yeah,
gives you them at an accessibility thing where I'm not doing a 10-mile hike to Grand Prismatic. I'm doing a quarter-mile boardwalk.
yeah,
And I think, yes, I could see where you say, yes, it becomes a standard because it's like, here's the cool things nature has to offer at your fingertips. And that, that's one thing that I've never done any backcountry in Yellowstone. And I've wanted to. I've always wanted to. No one wants to go with me. They're all afraid of the bears. Your timeline, your schedule we always squeeze Yellowstone into things when you're out here.
I know. I want to spend like a week. I want to do some backcountry. I want to go like into the park. I've never done that.
I would say if you truly
roads, which is probably why it didn't crack my top 10 or my top 5. Sorry, it's in my top 10. But
I've done some of the hikes in Yellowstone, those branch off hikes, and I'm not completely into the backcountry, and I think that's why, because I've experienced that. I've been in there. I carried the bear spray. Because when you're in that Cook City side, you got to be careful. There's tons of grizzlies, and you're in their house. You're the loud car bumping music outside at 11 p.m. at night. Like we don't think that way, but it's nice. And I mean, I want to take you guys out. Matt's never done the Beartooth Pass, and if you've never done the Beartooth Pass, again, like I said, child of the Beartooths, there's something special about them. I mean, I go up to, West Rosebud all the time. I go up to Nye, go up here, go up there. It's beautiful. It's God's country.
No, it is beautiful. I've done Beartooth twice now. And it's pretty. There's a shit ton of snow for sure.
You've never done it in July, like late July. In August when it's clear and there's
no. I have. First time, remember?
First timer, yeah.
Yeah, first time I went, there wasn't as much snow.
Second time,
shit ton of snow.
It's all about when you go. You go in May. You go that first weekend. It opens up Memorial Day weekend.
Snow.
You get all the people skiing. There's a ski lift up there that opens up. You get all the people skiing, and they're asking for like rides up the mountain because on the cars going up, they'll hitchhike up, And then you'll get the guys like parasailing,
We
but
saw those guys.
yeah, with like skis and snowboards on. So
Yeah.
beautiful. That's where, I mean, I've seen grizzly bears up there. I've seen all moose. I've seen beautiful mountain goats, beautiful wildflowers, all of it. Just that's where I got the
Pretty cool.
well, that's where I got the pictures of the Neowise comet. And to sit on top of a mountain by yourself, listening to just like absolute silence and feeling the cold air and taking these photos and seeing the Milky Way with my eyeball. I didn't even need my camera to expose the Milky Way. I could see it with my own eyes, and you're just like, oh my God, this is heaven.
Yeah. She's pretty darn close.
Right?
Yeah. Anyways, actually, it's not bad timing today.
Yeah, we didn't do two and leave them with that and say, hey, we'll get you with one next week.
yeah, we didn't wander too much today, which is fine. You know?
Yeah. We wandered back to the original conversation.
Yeah. But anyways, it is that time for final words, my guy.
You know, I like what you said tonight about nature healing. And there is truth, there is science behind it. Especially when you really do get into like the magnets, the way our South Pole and North Pole work with one another, and the way the magnets of the Earth and the way we get hot spots, same way the sun works, same way the planet works, and the way that it does charge our land and in its own earthly magnetic way. And when we don't put it, when we're in the concrete world, we're living in our cars, our houses, our man-built things, walking on streets and sidewalks. Sometimes it's hard and you need to get your feet out in the grass or in the water or something different. That's why taking a shower feels so good. You're exposing yourself to the elements. And I think that's something we need to do more of as a society, is expose ourselves to the elements. Because if we can understand them, we can understand ourselves better. That's it.
I like it. Nature heals, everybody. Reverend's final words of wisdom today is stay beautiful. You guys are amazing. I can't tell you how thankful I am for all of this. Just we talked about our top 5 favorite parks. I'm sure you guys all have your own. It's what is special to you. Everything you do, every park you go to, every place you go to, every adventure you go on, it has the opportunity to be truly special, and it's what's special to you. Don't let anybody else convince you otherwise. Let it, if it resonates with you and you truly find some sort of spiritual healing or happiness or whatever it is, enjoy it for that reason and hang on to those moments and go make some. Go out this weekend and try and make one of these memories.
No, I love it. I truly, I'm going to go make some memories this weekend.
There you go. See, go make some memories, everybody. That being said, peace out, everybody.
Hot for now.